Lalita. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'd like to introduce everyone to the fabulous Lalita, one of my best friends. Would you like to tell everybody about your background?
Yes. Hi, Julie. I'm so honored to be here. I'm a software engineer. I have 3 years of industry experience. In college, I did multidisciplinary engineering. I had a taste of a little bit of everything engineering can offer, and I was really attracted to the embedded system side. And I also love aerospace. I've loved aerospace. I wanted to be part of the aerospace industry since 7th grade. And in college, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I can merge both of those together and start a career in the field where aerospace meets low-level software. So software for hardware and not so much for humans. And aerospace has a great little spot for that. So my first position and my second internship was at Collins Aerospace, where you and I met. And that's where my career started. And I've just been exploring every little aspect that career has so far.
Excellent. And as much as we have in common, we must address the fact that we are very different people.
Yes.
You mentioned software. I have a hardware background. You went to a little school in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and I went to a big school in a big city.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Big school, tiny city.
Okay, Texas A&M.
Yes, correct.
Which makes you an Aggie, and I went to the University of Texas at Austin, which makes me a Longhorn. And yet, with our differences, we can still be friends.
Absolutely.
Great. And I've mentored you a little bit over the years. So how has having a mentor, whether it be me or someone else, has made a positive impact in your life?
Oh, it's been the absolute best. I mean, I can't stop gushing about, especially having you in my life, you in particular in my life. I really enjoyed our time at Collins together, because when you're a young engineer, you're straight out of college, you have all this, you think you have all the skills, but there's more to a career than just what you learn from your books. There's people skills, how to present yourself, what the industry in specific wants. My degree never taught me exactly what NASA needs. It's just not because to fault of the degree. It's just each industry requires different skill sets from you. Each company requires different sets of knowledge from you, and these are things you can only learn on the job. So having a mentor is really valuable in that aspect because of what the skills in particular, the industry skills in particular that you need for that specific job. So, and also it was really valuable to me to see how you took an idea that you had and you used all these skills to achieve your goal. I saw all the work that went into everything that you did. It wasn't just you woke up one day and your idea came true. You spent every single day, you made incremental progress, and I saw everything you did for over the 3 years, whatever you've worked on. I saw every step of it. You've shared every win and every loss, and that's the most valuable piece to me, because now I'm confident. I have so much confidence that anything I want, I know I could get, and I know how to start getting it. I know exactly what steps I could take or how to get the ideas. And also, most importantly, the value of having a network is what I learned from you. It needed so much.
Excellent. But thank you. Thank you for those kind words. And you've actually come to me with a good idea, right? A seed of a strawberry?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you'd feel comfortable we could kind of recreate that conversation.
Sure.
To give everyone else a feel for what it means to have a mentor and an innovation coach and how those conversations evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually over the phone, but we're going to do it in person.
Yes.
I understand you have a good idea that you'd like to talk to me about.
Yes, I was on the internet one day and I noticed that there's lots of smart rings and smart watches out there. And I also noticed that I have a little niche in that industry that I don't feel any of the products currently out there or just in my attention matched what I was looking for. I hated the smartwatches because I don't feel the screen on the Apple and the Samsung watches don't match my aesthetic very well, and I know that's very important to a lot of people these days, and so I preferred the ring. However, the ring doesn't do, all the rings don't do a good job of tracking your activity, like your steps, and then, you know, when you're running and swimming like that. They more are like a health ring, and so the watch is better for when you're doing exercise and activity like that. And so I was wondering if there's a way I could take the effects of or the advantages of a watch and put it on a ring.
Okay, so why do you think the manufacturers chose a watch over a ring to begin with?
Yeah, my initial guess is because of the surface area of the watch. Since it's larger, there's more space to put sensors, different kinds of sensors, more sensors, and the ring has a slimmer surface area. Also, it touches less part of your skin than the watch does. And so all these factors made me understand why a watch would be better for high-level activity, and a ring is more advantageous for just health reasons.
Okay, so your idea is to make a watch that is more attractive and more like jewelry.
Yes.
And looks less like this.
Yes, that's true. I didn't want to. I didn't like the. Yes, they offer lots of straps, but the screen is the thing that bothered me most. Also, I feel I don't want to spend more time closer to a screen. We already have phones on our person all the time, and it's one thing to have it in your pocket or purse. It's another thing to have it strapped to your hand. And while some people do prefer that, it's easy for them to tap to pay or anything like that, I personally did not want to be so attached to my screen. I liked the look of a ring better. It had no screen, but I wanted my ring to do what the watch did.
Okay, so have you researched these rings and done a little bit of market research? My concern here is that the market's pretty saturated, and what you're looking for might actually already exist.
Yeah, I did a very brief, very initial scan of the market. A lot of complaints about the rings were low battery life and inaccuracy in their calculations, which may also have stemmed from the location that you're reading from, because some people prefer to put the Oura ring on their index finger, and because that might change the readings. So inconsistent readings, inaccurate readings, and low battery life were the biggest complaints that I've noticed among users of various rings.
And so do you think that you have the skills to overcome those and that you can conquer those challenges? I mean, maybe I phrased that poorly. Do you have an approach to overcome these challenges?
I do not. I think if I spent the time with it, the battery problem is an ongoing problem. It's not unique to the ring. Lots of people have issues with battery life. I do think the market saturation is what stopped me more than the innovation, because there's lots of watches and rings and bands, fit bands out there, and there's so many ways to accessorize and customize it. And there was this one woman who actually made a product more like what I was looking for. It looked more like a bracelet than a watch. But, and for reasons I'm unclear about, she closed her company and she didn't continue further with her product. And so, but it wasn't a time, a couple years before where we currently are now, where watches and rings weren't as popular. And so I do think it's worth bringing the idea up again, but I feel like you must market to your particular niche. You have to find the women, men, whoever want these accessories that look more like jewelry than just getting a different watch strap than anything.
Excellent. So did you find this conversation useful?
Yes, absolutely. I found it helpful because I like spiraling in my idea. I also I have a habit of not taking it to execution very well. And so having the questions and steps written out helps me have a path rather than just having this explosion of an idea in my head and then it just fizzling out and dying.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad I could help you. And that is a great example of failing fast and early. You recognized that the market was saturated. You recognized that there were some unique challenges that needed to be overcome. And you decided not to put your energy into that idea, which freed you up to concentrate on other ideas that are more beneficial. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today, Lalita. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Always good to see you.
Of course. Thank you.